to our public workshop. This is, of course, a workshop, so it's not as formal as a normal meeting. However, let's, especially given that we've just had we just had the holiday of the 4th, we're going to pledge allegiance to the flag, and I'll ask our volunteer if there's anybody who'd like to give an invocation, and then we'll begin with some announcements, move on to Commissioner Newkirk, and then talk about some health insurance. So if you join me in reciting pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there anybody within the audience who would like to offer an invocation at this time?
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you again, Father, this day, thanking you for this day you give us to survive on this earth, Father, and to try to love one another as we should. And Father, we just pray, Father, that you will be with this council meeting tonight, that everyone will put things aside. There's been problems for a long time, Father, and we just pray that they're working together and get Dixon back on the track like it should be. We know, Father, that you're always with us, with them, and we just pray that you will guide them in the ways they should be, so we can get back to work. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And I'd like to start off with a little good news first. If I could get a volunteer from the audience to come up to the podium. There's a section of the newspaper that we'd like to read, just so that we can think about also Independence Day and some of the things that have happened around here. Is there any volunteers that I could get to read this? Any volunteers from the audience?
I'll read it. Oh,
Thank you. Right here, just this section. It is.
All right. Mayor's Corner by Dixon Mayor Michael Brown. Citizens of Dixon, we celebrated Independence Day this past week. What a beautiful time to remember our great country and our veterans and the men and women of this great nation who cared more about Americans than their selfish interests. God bless America. Fellow citizens, Dixon has begun to turn around. Like a big ship, the city cannot turn around on a dime. It is a slow turn, and we're trying to miss the icebergs we're headed for. For government or ships, courses are changed by looking as far ahead as possible. I can tell you all that when the new council was formed in April, we had over $200,000 of unpaid bills. Now, when looking at our status, I am pleased to say that it has dropped to $168,000 in just over 2 months. This was thanks to an amazing effort of our council and the city employees. I would like to list some of the accomplishments of your elected officials in the last 60 days in office. They have fixed the water collection mechanism, reorganized the police department, resolved the water leak on Highway 28, that being after 2.5 years, empowered the maintenance department, and they have done an amazing job, formed a grant committee, formed a nuisance committee, formed an animal committee, removed dangerous equipment from Lions Club Park, excuse me, continued stalled work on the Veterans Memorial, collection adequately executed, water cutoffs for failure to pay and late fees collected, more transparency and more city council meetings, public participation in city government, repaired many water lines, sewer lines, and roads throughout Dixon. Many of these issues were identified years ago. Moreover, there have been successes in the city. There are still several issues that need tended to and are being worked on. The current council is invested in Dixon and getting the city back to right. I believe the people of the city deserve good government and government that operates on planning for the future. Take, for example, the city's jet truck. It is currently broken down and completely inoperable. It has been said that parts can be bought to repair the jet truck. Over a month and a half ago, this was claimed, yet parts never materialized, nor was given that could repair the truck. It has also been said we can just get a cheap truck. However, it would seem that the reality is different. Jet trucks are expensive, very expensive. If the city purchases junk, then the city will get what it pays for. Now, I would ask the naysayers who say we do not need a jet truck, what about the Angel Lane, Lion, and Pearl Streets and portions of 2nd Street? And all of these locations are in dire need of a jet truck to keep the sewers operating properly and to keep sewage out of homes, off the streets, and creeks where children play. I have personally been displaced because the water sewer not functioning, city sewer not functioning properly, and I am not the only one in the city. The jet truck will prevent other citizens from having to flee their homes for health and safety, and the city needs a jet truck. As you
We can stop there. And thank you for reading all that. I will tell you that sometimes solutions come from neighbors, and we really appreciate Pulaski County Sewer District Number 1 because they saw our need, and they came out on Tuesday, and they helped fix some of these problems. So now we're able to take a breath. I know we talked about a jet truck last time, but honestly, we now have a little bit more time to think about it and hopefully find maybe even a better solution. And it was thanks to Zach and his team coming out and helping dig line. This line that they were on Maple Street that had been an issue for 2 years. And I want to thank them. If we give them a round of applause, please. I appreciate now that we have, as a council, we have more time to look at this issue and maybe even find a better solution than was presented before. Diane,
What was
please.
the cost of that service?
Nothing.
Mark, I think you stopped going a little bit too quickly because a lot of the things on the bullet points are very important to know that we are working on.
Okay. Let's go on real quick, if you don't mind. Do you want to read it, Marlene, or should I? You want
Good.
some?
Or somebody else can.
Gwen, do you want to finish reading?
Sorry about that, but I just
didn't
think
mean to
it's really
interject.
important that everybody knows what we are working on.
No, it is, and this is a workshop, so please, if people have comments, raise your hands so we know.
All right, right here, Glenn, where it says, what is actively being worked on. There you go.
Thanks. All right, what is actively being worked on? Jet truck. New city hall, by assuming the city maintenance building, thereby saving money instead of purchasing a building outright and expending greater sums for renovations. Turning in old scrap metal, therefore reducing inoperable equipment from inventory and potentially reducing insurance premiums. Nuisance properties. Park manager and park cameras. A realistic budget. A city website. Stop signs and road bumps. Health insurance for employees, city attorney and city engineer, continuing to improve and clean the city park. In closing, this is your city. I, as your mayor, have expended numerous hours along with the city council to improve and rebuild the city. I extend to you the invitation to attend all city council meetings and provide your input, suggestions, and solutions. From your mayor's corner, Michael Brown.
Thank you.
Since that time, I will let you all know that I have a meeting with Mr. Kirby on the 20th, myself and the grant committee. They have talked to us about the purchase of vehicles for the police department. We are 70% eligible for a grant, and we looked at financing the rest, and I believe the estimate for 3 vehicles is $84,000. $84,692.67.
For 3?
For 3 vehicles. That's something that we're working on.
Are these new vehicles?
Yes, brand new vehicles. They come with a 5-year warranty, and I believe the colors that they quoted were all black, which was
So
pretty
we're
cool.
looking at Chrysler 300s or something like that?
Yes.
Mike, what kind of, this is
Here's the.
ag grant?
It is. I don't have all the details on it, but if you'd like, I'll pass it to you after Mr. Kirby gives us on the 20th.
Thank you.
Also, what we're working on is working on cleaning up the park. I will tell you that there are cameras which will be going up on the park. And this is all thanks to Donna. There'll be cameras going up. We are looking at potentially finding a park manager who will help take care of our park.
Have you guys contacted the Dixon Lions Club about the park manager and what's going on with the park? Has anybody been in contact with the Lions Club at all on that?
No.
When I have contacted Lana Wilson, kinda is over, she's with the Lions Club, she kinda stays in the background a little bit. I mean, she does, she basically told us the last time we were working on it, go ahead and do what you wanna do.
Right.
You know, so.
So do you guys anticipate contacting the Lions Club to work with them?
She told, when I was playing flyers, she told me go ahead and do what I wanted to do.
And we welcome their participation in everything, with Massanutten Park. Yes, we welcome. And then maybe,
They were here one night and discussed all of this with us.
That and that night, it was about the equipment being
Right.
sabotaged. Yeah.
we have a wonderful event planned, music in the park. Terry, could you maybe tell us about it just for a minute?
That's Music in the Park. It's July 28th from 2 to 8. It's starting off with Ken Warner for an hour, and then we're going to have a watermelon eating contest, a egg tossing contest. I'm sorry, moms and dads. Pie baking contest, which will be here in the library. And then I take the extra pies home. It's going to be a fruit and berry pie contest. No cobblers, no icebox, nothing that has to be refrigerated. And then 2nd Street Band is going to be from 4 to 6, and I'm looking for the 3rd band from 6 to 8. So I hope you guys bring your families and blankets, chairs, no animals. Please don't bring your dogs, no alcohol. And I want everybody to enjoy the evening. This is for our community. The city is not paying for anything. I've already got a donation from the Chamber of Commerce for $100. The grand prize for the pie baking is $75 gift card from Ozark Mountain Pearls. And we've got other gift cards that I'll be handing out throughout the night to people that come to listen to the music.
I also want to throw in real quick too, as long as it's okay by the mayor. We're also looking for food vendors to set up along parallel to the streets here. No electricity we provide, so it would have to be off of those generator things. Free of charge. Y'all need money for your organizations, veterans veterans organizations, youth clubs, school clubs, all of that. Set up by all means, if it's okay with mayor and council.
And Mayor offered to turn the water on the water tower, so if it's a hot day, we'll have some water to play in.
Excuse me, do we have any insurance problems with offering that?
We are waiting, I will let you all know that we are waiting for the insurance to get back. So everything being mentioned is pending approval. However, the outlook is bright. So, but it will go through, like all events, our insurance is consulted. In the past, we had an event with the fireworks, which I was really looking forward to, but after consulting the insurance had asked for licenses, which unfortunately I don't know that I don't think they were produced according to the insurance's requirements, and hence we couldn't hold the fireworks in the park, unfortunately.
We also have a rain date for this event too.
Which is August the 4th. It's the following Saturday.
So we have a question, yeah.
Just a comment on the fireworks.
Yeah, go ahead.
The insurance, the licenses were produced for the insurance. The final one was the pyrotechnician was the general liability on the pyrotechnician.
Oh.
We did have insurance for the event that the pyrotechnician was covered under, but it just came down to a timeline on it. So
Okay.
there wasn't an issue with the DYRA with the insurance that we had. So the licenses all were produced.
Okay, thank you for the
And
clarification.
insurance on that,
So for next year, do you think we're all set? We're going to be set for next year, or?
We never got final approval. That's why we had to move on to the DYRA. So that would be, and it turned out a good event with where
That's
it was.
awesome. I'm glad it did.
So,
Good.
so that was.
And thank you for that, by the way.
No.
Yes.
Did you present the? Thank you.
No problem.
Did you you present the licenses to the city by chance? Would you be willing to, so that we can keep a copy on hand, so next year when questions are asked, we can maybe move it along a little further?
The licenses are not under me, they're under the pyrotechnician.
Okay.
So I would have to get his approval to do that. I'm not
Okay.
at liberty to give that, but we would not have any issue with it if the
Yeah,
pyrotechnician.
maybe if you'd like to come by City Hall, so that way we can set up, we can get ahead of it for next year, and maybe it'll be a little bit more smoother operation, so that way the insurance doesn't have any qualms about it.
Right, yeah, I mean, the way it went off at the DYRA, it was a real positive for the DYRA, and it all worked out okay for that.
Good.
So we're not necessarily looking to move it from that.
Yeah, okay.
So as it stands right now, we feel like it ended up settling there quite well.
Okay.
I am looking for some more help if anybody
Yes,
else.
definitely.
I need to clean up at the end event and need some help with some of the events yet.
Well, and so just for next year, for all these events, please make sure you get with me as soon as possible, because like when it comes to fireworks, I definitely want to see fireworks, so we want to support that. So let's just make sure, if the pyrotechnician will get with us, just in case you do want to move it in the future, we already have stuff on file, and that way we don't run into conflict with insurance again.
Yeah, we did. We did make some contact with it. I believe my brother Anthony had texted you a time or two, and we didn't get. I'm sure you probably checked for responses, and then Jesse. I ended up going down with the marshal, and he called us, and Jesse, we were in contact quite a bit on it.
Yeah, I told Jesse yes, with the caveat that the insurance doesn't have any issue with it, but it looks like the insurance was a little bit of a speed bump. So, like I said, next year let's just hit it earlier. Unless you want to do it where you did this last year, that's okay too.
As it looks right now, we probably will carry on with where it is. Just it seemed to go, and it was a double event, which helped the DYRA out as well. You know, with that.
Awesome. And then the last announcement I'll get into, and then we're going to turn time over to Commissioner Newkirk, is that this one isn't as much fun. It has to do with our financial situation. As you all know, we do have some struggles. We have been working tirelessly to try and find accountants that would come do an audit. Now, I did find 2 accountants. I'm waiting for them to come back. They are forensic accountants, and they're willing to come in and do a review. I'm hoping that they'll get back with me early next week and that we can get council approval to start that process. So we are actively working at getting our accounts audited.
Where are they out of, Mike?
They're out of Rolla. I will let you know that I have reached out to others. I won't go into names or companies or anything like that, but I have reached out to others, and understand it's a little bit of a tenable situation because you're looking at 5 years, and basically it comes down to reconstruction. So I believe that this would be a good step forward, bringing in some accountants that are forensically trained. They can look into the past, find problems. They can do a review. That's not an opinion. It's not a full-blown audit, but it's a review. And it will really help the city. Now we'll turn the time over to Commissioner. Oh, yes.
We had previously advertised for treasurer. How's
Yes.
that going?
We had 0 applicants. So
Just making sure for the crowd that they know we're actively seeking.
we are, and if there are any other
What are we
applicants out
seeking?
there,
I'm sorry, the door's squeaking.
we're actively seeking applicants for treasurer. We've had 0 so far.
That was published.
It was published. And now we'll turn over the time to Commissioner Cooper.
Don't have any weapons. Okay.
Better not have any.
What I brought to you is, for the past 7 years, I've tried to get an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Dixon, and never seemed to get anywhere with them. This is a copy of Crocker's, and this is basically what it is. We can get it filled out if y'all would like to do it. I'll explain a little bit about it. What we do for Crocker is they have a few gravel roads in their city. They have no way to take care of them. And what we do time to time is they call us, we go by and we blade them. There's been times that we've had to replace culverts. Now, when it comes to replacing a culvert, it wouldn't be free. You have to produce the culvert. If you can't afford it or don't have one, we'll use one of ours. And then when you can get it, what we ask is you get one back. And it's happened with the city of Crocker before. It took a few months and we got another culvert back from them. But we would go in at your request. It would be at our time, but when you request it, we would figure out a date that we would come in and do it. I know yeah, Ballpark Road, and there's a couple more, I thought. And there are a few more gravel roads to the city, if I remember right.
Pine Street.
Yeah, there's a few of them. You're a small town, you have the equipment, you can't afford it. We understand that. And as a county, we try to work together, we try to have an agreement with every city, to help them. You know, like when you call the sewer jetter. Hey, anytime you got a problem, give me a call. That's my job, is to find the resources to help you out. But I can't help you if you don't ask. I read about it, and I made a call and said, hey, I can get one to you. But, you know, just call. Anytime you got a problem, call. I'd rather take care of it now before it gets to be a big problem. I like to take care of you stuff. But that's a mutual aid agreement. I like y'all to, before your next meeting, make copies for everybody, read it. Tell me what you think. Something you guys want to do, we're glad to do it.
Is there a difference between what do you call it, intergovernmental agreement and a mutual aid agreement?
Intergovernmental agreement is between two governments. You're a government, we're a government. Okay. It's an intergovernmental between us, and the reason we do it for state statute is that I can, under state statute, we can bring equipment in and help you. Now, if you was a cemetery or someone out in the county, then we can't extend funds, taxpayers' funds, to help. Since everybody in the county pays taxes, even the ones that's in the city pay taxes, we can help. That's why it's an intergovernmental agreement.
Okay, well, do you know what the difference between an intergovernmental agreement
A
and a
mutual
mutual
aid
aid?
is emergency.
Only emergency?
I call it, in my perception of it, it's emergency. Mutual aid would be if your police department needed help for mutual aid with another police department. We have it with the city of Dixon already. We have that. I don't know if you guys know what it is. I pulled it up. I think I got it. Yes, we already have, we have it with Crocker, I'm sorry, Crocker. But if anytime an officer or anything, you're going to get, we call it mutual aid. Fire departments, mutual aid. It's emergency services. Normally, mutual aid is emergency services. Some of them call it that when they call it, when you call it because you have an emergency. I guess you could, if you want to call it that. But we call it an intergovernmental agreement because under state statute allows us to do what we can do for you.
So installing culvert is not an emergency situation?
No, but it's an intergovernmental agreement. We can help you with that.
Right.
And it just says that we can't expend our culvert. You would have to replace the culvert, which doesn't say when, it says you have to replace the culvert. Now I know you're hurting, so, you know, whatever it takes to get it back doesn't really matter.
You understand it may take time.
We understand that.
We take it out of our taxes.
No, we would never touch it. I don't have the authority to touch it.
Commissioner Newkirk, I do have to say that I just want everyone to know that it was a phone call one day and help the next. I was thoroughly amazed how quickly they came. Josh, that was out on Angel Street, right?
What? I'm new to this conversation, sorry.
When we went out and Pulaski County Sewer came out to help us?
No, we did everything. We did a lot of it.
Oh, wow. Which streets did you end up doing?
4th Street, Line Street. We messed with Angel a little bit, but there's other issues there just besides being jetted out.
The sewer district helps you do all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful because it's now given us time to really sit down and think. And, you know, planning, for good planning, you need time, you need money. And now you provided that to us, Commissioner.
I'm going to throw a curveball at your truck here in a minute. Why are you looking at the truck?
Well, now, and thanks to Zach, when you sent him, we were able to have an in-depth conversation. And Josh was able to go find 3 different jet trailers, one for 6, correct me on the amounts, one for 6, one for 8, one for 12.
Right.
The sewer district got one of those pretty cheap here a while back.
I really
The
appreciate
St.
it.
Robert got rid of one. I think they got rid of it, I'll check. The St. Robert had one, and you can get there cheap. cheap. I'm talking Pulaski County grant.
Yeah, and after speaking with Zach Shepherd with Pulaski County Sewer District #1, he basically said jet truck is in relation, it's a Cadillac.
Correct.
It's the Cadillac of things, but he said if you have a jet trailer, they can accommodate you. For example, their jet trailer had 500 feet of line, where we had a main that ran, correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, 170 foot with a problem.
Oh, 270.
270 foot, and the one that we had borrowed at one time only had 200, is that
Right.
right? So we were 70.
You go from one end, we go to the other end and work your
Until we reached the manhole.
Well, we
or the
couldn't
main.
go from one end to the other because we still are not sure where it connected at. It connects underground without a manhole there.
And we appreciate the expert advice, because here we come in, and we're taking over from our predecessors and learning from them. I learned a lot about the difference between jet trucks and jet trailers. I mean, Zach was awesome. And what I am interested in solutions. I don't care about trucks, I don't care about trailers, I care about solutions. Yeah.
A little over 5 years ago, you've seen years ago with the county, we were struggling. When I took over, they were struggling. And they worked every year, they were buying used cars, everybody else's junk, or police cars that had a salvage title. And I approached Ron Long about, let's lease them. I can go to Ford Motor Company here and get a lease, a 3-year lease. Okay, I paid $21,000 a car for it. I got 5 cars for $105,000 or $6,000. That was for 5 cars. I took up 3 like you need. They're all V6s. The Ford Focus, the Ford Taurus, there you go. They're all Tauruses. They're still running. They have a 5-year warranty. And before we did that, our maintenance and fuel budget was $210,000 for the county. After buying them 5 cars, and we put them in for that next year, our maintenance fuel line went from $210,000 to $135,000. It enabled us to pay cash every year for another car.
That's awesome.
Just by,
Just by thinking ahead.
And the reason why I say, as far as the county, I'm pretty sure the city's the same way. You can't expend funds that you don't have for the previous year. But you can do a lease.
Yep.
And what I did was a 3-year lease and bought them for $1 at the end.
What I announced earlier was a lease program.
Okay.
It was lease.
And what I
It
did,
is lease.
and that was offered by Ford Motor Company. So I went to local banks. And I said, hey, Ford Motor Company's going to do this. I want to keep my money local. What can you do? He goes, I'll do whatever they got.
Nice.
Wow.
That was security bank. Mike Dunbar wrote it up. And that's what we went, and we did that the first 2 years, about 5, did 2, and I paid cash from then on because they were saving some plans. They would pay cash for their car sales.
Gene came into office in a county that had been crying broke for years, and he found money under every rock in the county. It was absolutely miraculous.
You know, when you make people, and here's what I'm going to tell you, and I see it a lot, and I know everybody watches the news, and everybody has their perception of what's going on here in Dixon. You 6 need to work together. You have to. It will never, ever work if you don't. And I'm telling you, whatever you feel about each other out there, leave it out there. When you come in here and work as a whole for the city, you need to work together.
Yep.
Because I'm telling you, it will never work. I'm going to give you some ideas on how to make that work. You know, you talked about your park, you talked about a few things. It's like when I was on the St. Robert City Council for 7 years. I'm still the chairman of the park committee. I've been on it for 15 years. But you need to have 3 people on a committee. And you need to have a parking grounds committee. You need to have an emergency services committee. And you need to have a public works committee. That way, 3 of you can sit down and talk about what you have, what you need, and what goals you want to meet. work it up and bring it back to the whole council, and explain to the whole council. Now, when I say that, when I first came into office, I'm like, I don't know if I like this or not. But you come to realize, you know, it's not your idea. And a lot of people, is where they fail is because it's not their idea. And I come to the conclusion, I don't give it a try. If it don't work, what do we lost? You know, my dad used to tell me, keep knocking on the door till it opens. You know, Betty may come up with an idea. Go with Betty. If it don't work, Betty goes, okay, what do you guys have? You go to the next person and see what they have. Keep working. Don't give up. Never give up. You keep working until you get the door kicked down. Then you move on. That's how you're going to build. And with the county, I went to each elected official. And over the years, their money was pretty much strict. As far as whatever came in, whatever you was budgeted, that's all you got. And that's, if any money came in, if it came in for the sheriff's department, it came in for another department, it went to general revenue. Wow, that ain't right. Because I'll tell you, Loretta Rouse one year had a, and this is a little story, she had a budget of $2,000 in office, and she already expended like $1,800. She comes to me and goes, I need a new desk, and I needed this, and a computer. I go get it. She goes, well, I'll be over my budget. I go, no, you won't. Yeah, that budget line, $1,800 is going to be over. I said, I understand it. She goes, it's not going to look good. I said, how do you fix it? She goes, well, people are going to look. My budget's over. And I go, you told me you was going to bring $50,000 in revenue. She goes, yeah. I said, you've already brought me $90,000. I'll trade the $40,000 for $1,800 worth of office furniture every day of the week. You know, you've got to look at that, and you've got to look at each individual item in your budget. And I don't know, you guys get a copy before every meeting of what's on the budget, what's being spent, where everything's at. Does it get delivered by the police department to everybody?
Used to.
No, it used to.
What you need to
Sean
do,
took over.
and St. Robert did this for years, and they quit doing it, and I complained, because then they went to iPads, or mini-pads, and I don't know how they do it now. I can't tell that. But every Friday I had a packet delivered to my door for Monday's meeting. I opened that packet up, and I looked to see what was on the agenda. And then if there was something I had a question about, I went, look, if it was something about the town, or if it's a leak, or electric, or whatever it was, I'd go look at it. And I'd write my notes. And I'd come back, and then I had a question I'd ask about it. But, like I said, you guys everybody needs to get involved. Everybody needs to lace your boots, put your gloves on, get to work. But you have to work with people. I mean, you have to. If you don't, ladies and gentlemen, don't fail. I hate to say it. If that happens, then I have to step in. I don't want to do it. I would much rather see this down grow, because I'm a member of this golf course. I come out here 4 times a week, play golf. In the evening, 7 o'clock in the morning, late evening. When I get time, I come out. And I enjoy it. Good people, have a good time. But, hey, everybody's watching. And the other thing, everything that's happened in the past, leave in the past. It's not doing you any good right now. Look forward, go forward. You can't change anything that happens in the past. If it's illegal, you give it to Kevin. Other than that, move on and take care of business. I mean, I hear, you know, this person, that person, the old council, who cares? Get it done. Show me what you're doing tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to start it, guys. Hey, you showed me in a budget to where he was, like you said a while ago, almost $200,000 in debt. You knocked it off at $37,000.
Yes.
Then I raised it to about $180,000 truck. I'm like, God, no.
It wasn't that much.
It wasn't that. That was a little bit,
Well, I mean,
That was-
yeah, I mean, you're moving in the right direction.
right.
You know, you made up $37,000. Y'all be proud of that. I'm telling you right now, because Max Creek couldn't do it. They couldn't pull stuff out of it. I don't want another Max Creek. I want to see Dixon. Dixon's been a beautiful town for years, and I want to keep that. But like I said, work hard, doing a good job. Just, by all means, work together. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to add that we really appreciate the help that we received the other day. And it's given us time to think, and we appreciate the advice. You know, look, if you think that the 6 people sitting on council have all the answers and are perfect, no, we're not. We need help, and sometimes things may be said, and they may be wrong, and sometimes ideas may not be the best ideas. I'll tell you what, if you think you have a better idea, come down to City Hall, or email me, MikeBrown_MDGA@outlook.com. I want to see solutions and results. How we get there, as long as it's legal, moral, and ethical, I don't care. That's it. It doesn't have to be a truck, it doesn't have to be a trailer, it could be something else. Maybe there's something else out there that I don't know about. If you know, send it my way, or talk to your elected officials, and let's get this solved. And it's okay, look, if we go into something, and we get almost done, and we realize this isn't a good solution, we'll stop, we'll pump the brakes, and let's make a good solution happen. And again, thanks for the time, County Commissioner, you really helped us out. Another round of applause, please. And also, many people don't know this, but we also were able to borrow a roller to take care of some of the pavement problems that we had. It really, the commissioner and the county have really been helping us out, and it's going to make the difference. I know it is.
The people appreciate it too.
Yeah. And looking in the right places.
You don't pay the taxes too, everybody does. And there's no reason why they can't help.
I think morale is seriously low right now.
It needs to come up, you're right.
And any little bitty thing, you know, a flower here, a nice street here, something, boosts that up.
Yeah. If you want to bring people, you can have a committee. It doesn't have to be an alderman. If it's a board, it has to be an alderman. If it's a committee, it doesn't have to. You can have a park committee here in this county. You can set up a park committee. It doesn't have to be. You need to have a couple aldermen on it, but the rest of them can be residents from the city. You know, there's a lot of things you can do.
You know, as with, not just with city, but any kind of committee out there, sometimes it's always the same people doing it all the time.
Correct.
You know, and I remember at one time the chamber was getting seriously low on people power. And this year I think they've got an exceptional group. You know, so it just takes, you know, it's community.
You gotta thank them, you gotta appreciate them. Tell them, they do something that you like, hey, they're trying. Trust me, they're trying. Let it go.
Appreciate that.
I think what happened to a lot of people too was the fact that when this council took over, they realized that they were in a pit of vipers. Because I mean, we had a horrible deficit, but nothing to really break it down and get rid of it quickly. You know, as a matter of fact, our assets were not enough, you know, to break it down quickly. So we have to do it in increments, and you know, pay this person or that person, or call this person and say, hey, I got to delay this payment because we got to pay this guy. Or I mean, you know, you got to scrape and scrap and save. And I think the community just kind of got antsy with it and thought maybe that we were just going to fall and that would be it. And we go into bankruptcy. And then we could never have nothing
You gotta learn to crawl, then to walk, then to run. And you work at the small steps. You set your goals, you make short range and long range goals, and go after it.
And I'll tell you what, one of the goals when I came in was to help improve the quality of life for our city employees. And one of the promises I made is that every budget cycle, as long as I'm here, we will look into health insurance. Now this conversation isn't, there's not going to be any votes, we're not going into budget. This is so that everybody understands, especially the employees and the ones that are here, what options are available, and then I want to hear back from them what they think. And then as we go into budget, we're going to look and we're going to try. I mean, can it happen? I don't know. But I promised that we would look. That's what we're doing. So with that being said, we'll turn that time over to Kevin. He has a presentation for us.
Thank you guys for letting me stop by. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time. I do have copies of the proposal. I think all of you guys have. I have copies here. I only have 15. I don't know if you guys want to share. Anybody want one of these?
I do.
Okay. How about we do this?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody anybody else?
If there's any left over, if everybody gets what they want, I'll take one.
Okay. Here you go, man. I got plenty left over, so. All right.
Is it down?
Over here. These are $1.50 a piece. I didn't tell you that.
All of a sudden, we want to give them back.
There you go. Are we good? Anybody else need any over here? Again, thanks for having me to talk to you guys. So we started the conversation, I guess, I don't know how long ago it was when I started talking to Jesse and Mayor Brown, but basically the same conversation I had with them is the same conversation I had with other businesses that we work with. The city of Dixon is no different. Really, it boils down to this: you want to be able to offer the best benefits you possibly can at the right cost, of course. I don't know how many of you guys in here own businesses, but everyone's probably been through the same. Health insurance is not very cheap. We know that. Again, I should introduce. I'm Kevin Dushak, and I work for Fusion Benefits Group. Fusion Benefits Group is the broker that I work for. We're from Jefferson City, Missouri. We do every type of health insurance, any type of health benefits out there you could think of. Your typical health insurance, do voluntary benefits, a lot of times with Aflac, as you've noticed in here. Any type of life insurance, you name it. Okay, we're contracted with all the different major carriers of any type of health insurance you can think of. We've kind of been, I won't say we're masters of it, but we've kind of been using a lot of this minimum essential coverage plans. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. This is something that's become, well, as soon as the Obamacare came out, ACA compliance and all that marketplace, it didn't take very long for health insurance companies to kind of become creative and innovative on offering different types of health plans that can, I won't say beat the marketplace or beat that penalty, but this is something that started out of it. Now they've, over the years, have become a little bit better. They've included different kinds of benefits. So we started off with this. It's through Alara Healthcare. It's a minimum essential coverage plan that is, number one thing is it eliminates, it's ACA compliant, meaning that if you had this health insurance coverage, the penalty is eliminated, that tax penalty at the end of the year. But also, what it includes is some of the major things that a lot of people are looking for. One free wellness benefit, preventive care check a year is involved with that. Discounted pharmacy, discounted prescription program. You also do get, depending on what option you want, primary care office visits at $20 a piece, one time a year. Also x-rays, or I'm sorry, telemedicine is also included with this, which is a new kind of product that a lot of health insurance companies are doing now. So telemedicine is involved with this. Telemedicine works like this, so if you have a reason to, ordinarily that you'd have to make an appointment to go to the doctor, like myself, I have allergies every year. I have to make an appointment every year to go get the same medicine I know I'm going to get every year. This telemedicine works like this, to where all you have to do is call this 1-800 number. You're talking to a licensed physician. They ask you all the questions, your symptoms, and basically they put it into some sort of like a metrics, I guess is what you could say. Based on your previous health history, they can go by your symptoms, your previous health history, and also prescribe medicine for you. So in my case, what I did this year, since I had this telemedicine, I just called them up, said I got this going on. I've had problems before in the past with allergies, and then he's prescribed the medicine over the phone for me. This is all built into the same Alara minimum essential coverage plan. As far as this, that's it. Okay, this Alara minimum essentials coverage plan, that's it. What I just said, that's all the benefits. There's no deductible, meaning that there is no deductible. Everything else that happens besides this is on you. So what we've done at our Fusion Benefits Group is we've combined this Alera healthcare plan along with Aflac products, our accident policies, and our hospital policy. You can see it right there. This Alera minimum essentials coverage plan does not include any type of hospitalization. So what we've done is added this Aflac hospital policy along with it, okay, to cover those hospitalizations. The accident policy that you can see there also gives you additional coverage, but it also has an accidental death and dismemberment, which is a common feature. I think you said right now you guys kind of offer something to some of the employers. Some of the employees are paying that now, Jesse said. So that would possibly eliminate that line item in your budget. You wouldn't need that anymore because that would be included with this. Okay. This is just a start. Like I said before, this is something that's pretty cost effective. It's not your typical health insurance plan. Okay. Without giving you a good quote for a typical health insurance plan, I can tell you right now, roughly, for a high deductible health insurance plan, you're probably talking about $1,000 per employee per month. Okay. Now and that's low balling. That being said, to be ACA compliant, the city would have to pay at least 50% of that. So, things I talk to businesses about all the time is, so if you're going to offer benefits, is that cost effective for you as a business owner or the city? And does it make sense for the employees? Can they afford to pay the rest of it? Health insurance we're not in good shape. The whole country's in pretty rough shape right now. So as far as this goes, we want to offer something to the employees of the city of Dixon that's cost effective, that they can afford and the city can afford. Also, along with these policies, you can see how much it would cost down here. Some of it is age-banded, but this is a level-funded plan through Alera, meaning that there is no community rating. Okay, we don't need a census for this Alera healthcare plan, meaning that you see how it's age-banded just a little bit, but that's it. Okay, the price is what the price is. I guess is the best way to put it.
Can you say what that is, please?
Right here, as you can see here, for the lowest option here, if you're between the ages of 18 and 49, it's $154.02 per month. Okay. If you're between the ages of 50 and 59, it's $161.56 a month. If you're between the ages of 60 to 75, it's $169.88 a month. Now, what that includes is exactly what I just mentioned. The Alera healthcare, you get one free wellness check a year, okay? A discount on your pharmacy, thank you. Discount on your pharmacy. You also get the telemedicine at 100%. Also with that includes what I just mentioned, the Aflac hospital policies and the accident policy. I didn't get into a lot of detail about the Aflac products there, but they have it, kind of have it there in front of you. Accident policy also has a $40,000 accident death. I just mentioned that. An accident dismemberment. It would be, I guess, a lot of times when we talk to companies, we give the option to the employees also. They can kind of buy additional coverage. It would give you just a little bit more coverage as far as your basically, you would have more primary care office visits at $20 than what you can see there. 3 per year instead of 1 per year. Not a big difference though. Any questions?
We have some questions in the crowd.
Yes.
This per individual, the proposal would be for the city to be within compliance would be to pay 50% of this.
No.
What was
good
that
question. So as far as this Alera healthcare, the city does not have to pay 50% of it. Different than what you would your typical health insurance. This could all be voluntary for the employee, if you so choose. Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes, one of them. Okay, so that would be voluntary per employee for anyone, and there's no minimum for the city to have to buy into this?
No.
So if only one person in the city wanted to buy this?
You have to have 3 people.
Okay, so there's a minimum.
There's 3, yeah.
Okay.
But there's no minimum that they have to pay. I thought that's what you were asking.
Well, it's both. It goes
Yeah.
both ways. You had mentioned the ACH compliance with that. I have another question. So this would, to sum this up for me, this is for people that don't like doctors and don't like to go.
No one likes doctors, no one likes to go.
However, there are people that need to go to the doctor, and there are people that are stubborn and just won't.
Right.
So that would help the people that are prior military and do not need insurance. They could opt out. And then there's for the other employees and staff that do need insurance that go once a year.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any questions?
Yeah. There's got to be more questions.
I could ask more.
Ask more.
Yeah, well, I have a question.
Yes.
So you get this plan, is there a co-payment on that?
Okay, so there's, depending on what option, the lowest level option, you get one time a year only, a $20 doctor's visit. Now that does not include your one free wellness check. Okay, you get that automatically. If you do go one time a year, besides your wellness check, it's a $20 copay. That's it. Now, just so you understand, that's the good part of it. The bad part is if you have to go another time, then that's all on you. Okay, that whole visit. But without getting into great detail, that being said, this hospital policy that from Aflac will pay you back $25 3 times a year, okay, to go to the doctor. So if you look at it like this, and without, I'm trying to go into a lot of detail, you have an accident policy that'll pay you one time a year too, $60 for a wellness check. So you go with this insurance that's in place, go get a wellness check done, okay? You get it free. And then also with this policy, with these, everything that's built this package, you're going to get paid from Aflac for the accident policy for $60. So we're going to pay you $60 to get a wellness check done. Okay. Then also when you go to, if you have to go one more time during the year for any type of other kind of doctor's visit, it's a $20 copay. And then also that Aflac through the hospital policy will pay you $25 back. So you're actually making $5, I guess. If you have to go again for a third time for a regular doctor's visit, Alero stopped paying for that copay. Whatever your doctor's appointment would cost, Aflac would pay you another $25 because you have 2 of those left. Does that make sense?
And this doesn't
Sorta.
cover ER visits or anything to that effect?
So, as far as, if you do a plan, the next level up, which is $30 more than what I mentioned, roughly, you do get 1 urgent care visit per year for $20. Okay? Now, if you have to go to the emergency room without the Alera, then the Aflac hospital and the Aflac accident policies kick in. They'll pay, you have to go to the emergency room, well, $1,000, well, depending on, so if you go to the emergency room right off the bat, you get $270. And that's paid to you, because it's a supplemental Aflac policy. You still have to pay for the emergency room visit.
100%, but Aflac will reimburse you $270
To start
per
with.
go.
To start with, and then depending on what type of accident and all that other stuff will pay.
Let me ask you, you
Yes.
said you have 3 people, have to have 3 people, can they have 3 different plans?
Yeah, and you just have to have 3 people, and one of them has to have 1 plan. Yeah. Yep.
Well, what if you have a larger group, let's just hypothetically say the council, city hall, maintenance, sewer people, everybody all wants to get into a group plan. Do you have a group rate?
That's it.
That's it?
Yep, that's it. That's the group rate.
With a minimum of 3 to be considered
Yes.
a group rate.
Yes. Yes.
Insurance
That's
is
the
not
best.
looking real
But
good.
that's how much a month per person? for
So
that?
the lowest you can get it for, everything included what I just mentioned, $154 a month.
That's for the group rate. That's a good rate.
That's the group rate.
We got a question over here.
Yes.
When you're done.
Yes, on your one page here where it says plan details level funded fixed fee.
Yes.
There are 5 different areas where there's not applicable.
I'm trying to look through here. What page is that? Oh, I think I got it. Is it this one here?
No, this one here.
Okay.
Value
Fifth
plus
page.
premium funds.
Fifth page.
Yes, gotcha, I think I got you. So what was your question?
I said it shows 5 different areas here. And most all of us sometimes when we just go to the doctor and request these services, and it says this insurance is not applicable to those.
Which one are you talking about?
Like if you chronic care, like x-rays or
Right.
CT scan or MRI or
So-
if you would need a specialist or if you would have to go to hospital or
Right.
surgery or ambulance.
Right. So,
Actually, what doesn't cover that?
not a lot for this Alera. That's why it's not your typical health insurance, okay? What I just mentioned, and I'm just gonna tell you straight out, that from the beginning, those things, that's it. As far as hospitalization goes, if something would happen to you, if you're sickness, or if it's a illness or an accident, you have to stay the night in the hospital, this plan is not gonna pay you. The Alera part's not gonna pay you anything, okay?
So,
That's the most expensive stuff, I know. So what would pay you, and the only thing that would pay you is the Aflac hospital policy or the Aflac accident policy if it was an accident, okay? I honestly really wish we could do more, but that's what, for this, how much it
okay,
is.
but say for instance, I have to go to the doctor with the new plan, like you
Yes.
said, and it's more expensive. How much would they pay it for that?
So if it's just a regular doctor's appointment? Is that what you're
No,
talking?
say for instance, I had an emergency to go to the doctor.
Okay.
How much would they pay on that?
So, depending which plan you get, say you get the lowest level plan, the $154 plan, okay? As far as the Alera part of it, pay you nothing.
I know.
Yeah. If you had, but it's say if you had to go and it's because of an accident that you had to go, say you broke your leg, I don't know, something like that, it involves an accident. We would pay you, let's look at the below end. Let's say it's an illness that brings you to the hospital, emergency room. So the only thing of all these different policies that, the one that would kick in is the Aflac hospital policy. And what that would do would, if you had to spend the night in the hospital for that, we'd pay you $1,000 for the night, okay, for spending the night in the hospital. Every day after that, we'd pay you $100, okay? And since it's a hospital ER visit, we'd pay you another $100. Then the list goes on, there's x-ray benefits involved with it. If it's an ambulance, it's $200. Here's the thing, I know that's going to be a small smidget of what your ER bill is going to be. I know that. But that's.
So if we were to go full-blown plan, you said. at a
Like for
minimum-
health insurance, just
Yeah.
a regular health insurance
You would
plan?
say at a minimum would be $1,000 a month, or what were you saying?
I'd say minimum about $1,000 per employee.
A month.
A month, yeah.
And, okay.
And then I look now, I say that's just a rough estimate, yeah.
What about a self-funded? Those usually run for employees.
I'll have to give that a census. It's gonna be a little less than that. I've seen some self-funded plans were more than that, okay? But that's something I can certainly do, is get a census for that too.
And then.
We're willing to do anything that you guys want, to look at anything.
And health savings account, what are you looking at?
We can get a health savings account, that'll cost you. There's a monthly fee for that. Aflac has them. There's probably better than Aflac, I'll stop for it. That's something, I think, it depends on what type, so you give your health insurance, I'm saying, for nothing. Okay.
Can you throw out an average for like a savings account?
Per month, Aflac's like $5 per month, $6 a year.
And it's whatever issue they put in.
Yeah.
You have to have your own 75.
There's no coverage. Yeah. For the Alaris, yeah. Yeah, no.
Not there yet.
Yeah.
Work on it.
So here is what so I've talked to Mayor Brown and Jesse. The whole idea, of course, is to get to the point where you can offer health insurance, exactly what you're talking about. The best health insurance you possibly can. And we can do that. We're in that, that's our job, okay? So when we talk about a lot of times with businesses and stuff too, is that baby steps, I guess, okay? So this is just something that's cost effective. If it's something, I say cost effective, there's not, you get what you pay for, I guess is the best thing I can say. We can do better, but it's gonna cost you, okay? This is one thing, I guess, to look at. So, yep.
And the idea was that it was just some information, so everybody had it.
Yep.
I appreciate that. Are there any other further questions in the crowd? Any other further questions from the council? Anything else anyone else wanted to say tonight?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Applause, they can get applause.
With that, don't forget about music in the park, and we will end our workshop session. Thank you for coming.